our main event. Becky was supposed to be 2 months from now, as far as a return. She
Wait,
wasn't.
where's that info
Yes, she wasn't. She wasn't supposed. Like, this wasn't meant for her to return for SummerSlam.
from? Scoot had to dip just from that piece of information.
So that tells me two things, and there's probably a glaring one is a potential thing. One, this whole thing was clearly meant to compete with the CM Punk thing, because if you were going to replace Sasha, you could have replaced her with anybody, especially if you planned on keeping the title on Bianca. Not Carmella, though. You could have done Zelina Vega. You could have done Naomi. You could have done, Mia Yim if she was okay. Shotzi or T. Go ahead.
Let's touch up on how much of a slap in the face this is to the fans that went there expecting to see Sasha and Bianca round 2.
And that's now okay. So I'm 50-50 on this only for one reason. And that's, for any type of swerve. Like, if they had planned to have Becky within that week, then I understand, like, the swerve. Okay, cool. No problem. But at the same time, that's still no excuse for poorly booking. Because thing is, one, if Becky, and this is the second thing, sorry, I'm just going to wrap it all together. The second thing is, bringing Becky back this early would tell me that she's not cleared. Which also makes sense why that match was as short as it was, because she's not cleared, especially if she's supposed to return 2 months from now. That means she's not cleared, if that's the case. And I'm going with that because there's no fucking way you're going to tell me that Bianca, even if she got blindsided by Becky, is still not good enough to still have a credible match, even in a loss.
Right.
There's no fucking way, because she's gone through a lot of other people, whether it be a handshake. Hell, with the match she had with Shayna Baszler, even though she lost, she didn't lose in 20, 30 seconds.
26 seconds.
26 seconds. And this is your champion.
I will say this, and incoming people, this is going to be somewhat of a long rant coming from me.
You got the floor, Scoop.
I will say a lot of my feelings were out that night, and it did take those last 2 days or day and a half to kind of formulate a legit opinion. And one of the first things I had to do personally, I had to take race out of it. I had to take race out of it, even though the same shit happened with Kofi and Brock. With Kofi still being black, Brock being white, same situation, Bianca black, Becky white. So I had to take race out of it to try to make it a fair point, because then you always have the people, oh, why you want to bring race into it? I'm going to take race out of it. How the fuck do you ever expect to build new superstars when shit like this happens? You had Bianca win the Royal Rumble, main event night 1 of WrestleMania, and to lose to a returning superstar, no matter how over she was, in 26 seconds. And not only 26 seconds, but lose to a punch in one slam. You had your champion, who you was building for months, lose in this manner. There is nothing WWE can do to truly make that up to her.
No.
Especially when you saw her visibly crying in the ramp when she was going back. She was visibly crying. I'm pretty sure when she got back behind Gorilla, she probably broke down. She probably broke down to where, I don't care who you are, that sucked the wind out of almost everybody. Yeah, they was cheering that Becky became champion, but being in the know, that sucked the wind out of everybody. I did not want to watch the rest of SummerSlam when that happened. If it wasn't for our little contest we was doing, I didn't want to finish watching the show. Because this was so disrespectful. that you do this to a young superstar. There's nothing y'all can do to make that up to her. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. But you want to build new superstars and you want new talent to shine, but you do something like this.
But more importantly, they want to beat the competition that they're not competing with.
And you do something like this.
Some bullshit.
CM Punk didn't come to that ring and was like, hey, after 7 years, Kenny Omega, I want you at All Out. No. He addressed the person who called him out, which was Darby Allin, and told Darby, hey, if you really want to do this, come see me at All Out.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar, he comes out, what he do? Immediate fucking title shot, in a sense. What the fuck is up with this? Goldberg, Gorg, he comes back, immediate fucking title shot. How the fuck do you ever expect to build superstars, especially new superstars, who should stay with your company? Because if you're counting the fact that Roman is already in his 30s, Edge is in his 40s, Rollins is in his 30s, Lashley is 40, if not late 30s. If you want to build the wave of new superstars, you have Becky Lynch return and to beat the current champion, the champion, in 26 fucking seconds. How does Stephen A. say it? You had the unmitigated gall to want us to believe in Bianca, and she loses in 26 seconds.
Yes.
WWE, if fumbling was a thing in y'all's company, this would be the biggest fucking fumble. This would be Mark Sanchez's butt fumble for all the football fans out there. This is Shaqtin' a fool for all you basketball fans out there. What the fuck were y'all thinking with that? I can see if it was a situation where it was like, Carmella and Zelina came out there and they was jumping on Bianca, and then Becky comes saves the day. But no, you had her go out there, beat up Carmella first. So the embarrassment to Carmella happened first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had her, hey, Bianca, how about you challenge me for the belt?
Hold on. Okay. My bad, Scoop. But this is the part that pissed me off. Is her choice of words was, how would y'all like to see the EST and the man tear the house down?
Yes.
That's what they said.
And just for reference, just so everybody understands, all of you who are riding hard for Becky, nobody's mad at Becky for winning the title.
We're mad at her
because everybody pretty much understood that if Becky was coming out, Bianca was probably going to lose that title. Mm-hmm. We expected a match that was going to, showcase Bianca as a credible champion and show the strength of Becky in her return because of how popular she is. The booking on this is terrible. And just because there are people cheering for Becky, you can still feel the audible difference within the crowd after she won. Because, nobody wants to boo Becky after she just got back. But there is a lot of indifference within that crowd.
Yeah.
And for those of you who... Go ahead, Scoop.
And like I said, it took me up until now to take race out of it. Because we're not going to talk about the fact that WWE truly disrespects their black superstars. I mean, let's just go ahead, let's not even put that all in perspective. But the fact that you really want us to think this can be the next superstar who loses to Becky in 26 seconds. 26 seconds. And she was the champion.
Yeah.
She wasn't like a Eva Marie. She wasn't like a jobber. No, she was the woman who won the Rumble in January, main event at night 1 of WrestleMania in April. And come August, she loses her title. Seconds.
Mm-hmm.
26 seconds. Becky Lynch, regardless of what you do from here on out, you are officially in the Charlotte Flair category.
Damn.
I don't care if the plan is to push you as a heel going forward or whatever. That doesn't matter to me. You could have been like, you think I should really do that to her? You could have stopped that. You could have been like, Vince, I don't know if that's a good idea. That might not be the move to make for me to bury the champion.
No, not at all. And just for reference, because I know Nikki. Go ahead.
She couldn't come to me backstage and apologize to me because I probably would have damn near ready to swing on her. But with me being professional, it probably would have stopped me. But if I was Bianca, I would have been like, do not let me see anybody but Montez. Because if I see anybody other than if I see her, I might swing on her. Montez and Angelo better be the only people I see when I go backstage. Don't say shit to me, personally speaking. Because my feelings would have been just hurt. Personally speaking, my feelings was hurt as a fan. I can only imagine what she was going through, what she had to internalize herself, and how the fact that she had to stay professional, because then 24 hours later, you had her doing a promo on a house show about that. You had her wrestling on a house show, and she had to address it herself. So fuck all that noise. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing they could do to make that sit right with me.
I'm sadly playing this match back right now, and she is like, just even getting into the ring, she's all smiles.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic when you watch it after knowing.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know how she put on that face, like smiling and everything. She's like got all the energy, and she already knows what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
And speaking of just this whole situation, everybody talking about how Bianca lost. A lot of people are shitting on Nikki Bella for her comments based on it because she shares the same sentiment. And so people are going at her because they said it's the identical thing that she did to AJ Lee. Correction. It's not the same thing. Because see, what happened with AJ Lee and Nikki Bella, that was within a storyline. Because that was during the time where you had Nikki and Brie feuding. And then you basically had Brie being forced to be at ringside for Nikki before she turned heel as well, because then she distracted AJ Lee, kissed AJ Lee, and then got decked by Nikki Bella and then put in her finisher. So that's different. That's a very different situation because one, it was already built up like that. Two, AJ Lee was taken off guard because it's something that AJ Lee did to somebody else. Same matter of fact, she did it unintentionally to Daniel Bryan when she kissed him, and then he lost in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
But are y'all saying that he got squashed by Sheamus? Or y'all saying that's part of the storyline? Yeah, it was fucked up that he lost in 13 seconds, but again, it still played into a storyline. So you can't pick and choose what you're not gonna like. If you don't like this situation, you can't sit there and say that it's just either way. It's not the same. So Nikki Bella also does not deserve that flack because, again, it made sense back then. This doesn't make any sense at all because there's no way you can paint this up and say, hey, this all works the right way. No, you buried somebody. Nobody said AJ was buried at that time. Not one person. So some of you fans can miss me with all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But that this sucks. And again, constant professionals, especially if you're a veteran, can call an audible. You're telling me Becky couldn't have called an audible? Because again, this was something before the company The company that approved this whole deal is the same company that didn't believe in her when the fans pushed her.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, like, that's what kind of rubs me wrong with Becky. Like, again, I still got nothing against Becky, but I feel like this could have been done a whole nother way. Especially if she was not supposed to be back until like 2 months from now. I'm not going to sit here and say that she wasn't cleared. I don't know that. But judging by how everything went down, it seems like she may not be yet.
Right.
So
where does that take? I'm sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
Going forward from here, like, is she just gonna be making little cameos while holding the belt? Like, how does she plan on defending this belt if she's still not medically cleared?
I mean, I guess at this point, time will tell.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I think
like, is
the
she gonna
next
do
time
more
she would
fucking...
technically have to defend the belt won't be until Extreme Rules. So if all she might have is a little dust up here and there, you know,
like, she can do a couple more 30-second matches.
I'm pretty sure she probably won't wrestle again until Extreme Rules. And Extreme Rules, I think, is sometime in September. I can't remember when. So she probably won't. So she will probably just come out there and just talk trash. And she probably won't have a match on SmackDown until much later.
I'm running this back, and this is just such a train wreck of, okay, here's Carmella, and then they're about to get it going, and then Becky just walks out.
Yeah.
She does. 26.
She said 26?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Becky, so she could just come out week to week just to talk trash and get in people's faces and maybe do some punches here and there, but she probably won't wrestle until the 26th.
And so now the rumor is that the plan is to turn Becky heel. Mm-hmm. Now, my thing is, if that was the case, why didn't y'all just turn her heel at SummerSlam and then make it make sense? Like, have her come out, ambush Bianca, and then have Bianca be the fighting champion, be like, no, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna go out like a champ. Or and then have that be the case.
Or even let Bianca like squash Carmella and then have Becky show up and then stomp on Bianca.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been better.
Like, there's like, Becky's like halfway in ring gear.
I mean, she has her gear on.
I mean, yeah, she's got gear on, but then she's like rocking like her merch shirt. Like, the man's back in Vegas. It like kind of has like a Kevin Owens vibe to it. Like, that's what I mean by like halfway in gear.
Yeah.
But this yeah. And then knowing now that this is not gonna last long at all.
Yeah, it's just and for them to even to know about Becky, because I'm pretty sure they had this plan for maybe like a week, I think, because they had the shirts made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
again, I don't even know how legitimate Sasha's like medical clearance is, but
nobody knows. That's the thing. Nobody knows what's up with Sasha.
Like, imagine being, I mean, like, it's worse. It's definitely worse between the two for Bianca. But I mean, imagine being Sasha and all this too, where you're just like, oh, hey, so you're getting scrubbed from this match, and like for Becky Lynch and Carmella.
So now, what does that put me?
Yeah, where does that exactly?
Title.
Exactly.
So where do I fit in this?
Honestly,
she did a gut shot to Carmella and then threw her out the ring and said, "I'll be back." Okay.
Which was cool. That I was still fine with that.
Oh, okay. She's doing more to her. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, it was still weak what she did, but I mean,
she did.
Well, I mean, that somehow, or that's like in a way makes like it heelish, even though the fans are 100% with her.
Yeah. Let me see. Does Bailey have a return date?
Oh, she out. I don't think Bailey's return probably won't be to next year.
Wait, really? What happened?
Okay, 9 months. 9 months.
I was like, yeah, she
okay.
out.
This is the only way that I will actually accept this whole situation. I mean, it's still fucked up for Bianca, but the only way that they can turn this around for me, where I'll be okay at the end of the day with this, is if this is to bring all the horsewomen together as heels. Because at this point, if they turn Becky heel, all the horsewomen will be heels, and then you can have Sasha and Bailey win the women's tag team champions. So then you'll have them have all the women's titles. Then I'll be somewhat okay.
That's
just
small,
on the
somewhat.
It is a
Very
small, but that's on the strength. That's only on the strength of Bailey and Sasha because of their heel work together, and mainly Bailey because Bailey just kills it like crazy. But yeah, and you have them run roughshod over the main roster in the women's division to help build up new female stars. Then I'll be cool. Give me that shit for next year's Survivor Series. But anyway, I digress. SummerSlam, just WWE is really just, I don't want to say killing their own company because I think that's too rash.
I mean, I don't think it's inaccurate either, though.
True. And the only reason I halfway say this is because I still believe that they can save themselves. Now, judging how things happen with this new revamp of NXT may be my decision on like how I feel about the company altogether.